Everyone, today we're working on Module 6, Lesson 5. It's on page 33. You can flip to that page if you need a second. Pause me. So look at how long this one is today. So we're going to read through it, think about it, circle those clue words. The company has developed a new game. Cartons are needed to ship 40 games at a time. Okay. Each game is 2 inches high by 7 inches wide by 14 inches long. How would you recommend packing the board games in the carton? What are the dimensions of a carton that could ship 40 board games with no extra room in the box? So I want you to think about that, read through it again, circle your clue words, and then come back and I'll circle my clue words. The company has developed a new game. Cartons are needed to ship 40 games at a time. Each game is 2 inches high, so there's our height, by 7 inches wide, there's our width, by 14 inches long, there's our length. How would you recommend, so here's our actual question, number 1 question of 2. How would you recommend packing the board games in the carton? So one point in this problem, we're gonna have to say, I would recommend packing the board games in the carton, and then explain yourself. And then the second one says, what are the dimensions? Dimensions, remember, those are our measurements, our length, our width, and our height, in this case, because it's volume, of a carton that could ship 40 board games with no extra space in the box, no extra room. So they have to fit fully compacted tightly together. So for this one, it looks like we're not actually trying to find volume. We're using our length, width, and height to help come up with a plan and a recommendation for how they should pack their cartons. So the first thing that I'm going to do, and you can go ahead and pause if you want to work through this on your own, but the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to think about the board game. And it reminds me of a lot of board games. A short little height, right? 2 inches high, 7 inches wide, 14 inches long. So if our box looks like this, 2, 14, that's not the greatest drawing of a box, but that's okay, 7. So this is one board game, and we have to put 40 board games in. So think about it that way. So my initial thought is, and there can't be any extra room, my initial thought is let's just stack all 40 of these on top of each other. The problem if I decide to do that, stack 40 of these on top of each other, is that it's going to end up being 2 inches times 40 games, so 80 inches tall. 80 inches is really, really tall. That would be hard for like movers to pack and move it. So I don't think I'm going to recommend that. I'm thinking though, what if I do like another layer back this way? So instead of 1 tall stack, I have 2 tall stacks. And all that would change this, there'd be another one of them. So just make kind of my box longer. So instead of 7, we'd have another 7 inches here. So then you'd have to pack them 20 tall on each side, right? If I decided to do 2 stacks. I could even keep going and maybe make 4 stacks, but I think I'm going to stick with this plan. So that would mean, so there is more than one way to do this without any extra space. But my recommendation is 2 stacks of 20 games. So I've answered my first question. How would you recommend packing the board games in the carton? My recommendation is 2 stacks of 20 games. So now it says, what are the dimensions of the carton? So we need to think of, we have no extra room. So really all we need to do is think of how this would fill up a carton if we did it this way. So we know that the dimensions would have to be 14 on this side. So I'm going to put this up here. The dimensions of the carton are 14 inches by, so times. Now the 2 is our height. Sorry, I labeled that kind of funny. So it's hard to, 2 inches is our height, right? So 2 inches is our height, and we're stacking 20 games. Each game is 2 inches tall, so 20 times 2 is 40. So that dimension for height turns into 40 inches. And then our dimension for our width is our 7 and our 7 put together, so another 14 inches. And that would give us dimensions that would have no extra room.